This is a Honda Alternator. I've got two. One came off of a 2007 Honda Accord. The other had about the same size engine. It's still a 4-cylinder, but it was a 97. They were 10 years apart. Honda Alternator is probably one of the easiest ones to turn into an electric motor. We're going to take this outer cover off, and I'll do this step by step. I'm going to put a little box over here. So that cover is going to come off. We're going to remove that. Some of this we're not going to put back on, so we don't need it. So we don't need that. This is the brushed cover. I'm going to take these off. So if you don't have any skills to do any soldering, this Honda Alternator would be the one you'd want to choose, because it will require way less to get it to function as a motor. So we took those out, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to use those. So I'm going to bend those out just a little bit. You see these little rubber spacers here to prevent this from touching? This came off of one of the other ones that I have. Keep these, do not throw them away. These out a little bit. Make sure they're not touching this, because this has, I believe, diodes in it that will mess up the functionality of it working as a motor. So we don't want those touching where they were screwed into. If you need to wiggle this out, we're just going to loosen these. We're not going to take them all the way out. You don't necessarily, on this one, even have to remove the brush holder, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, because we just need to power it. So I'm using a magnetic screwdriver to be able to extract that screw without it falling in there. Make sure it's got a good connection. You might take a little sandpaper if you're not getting a good connection. I'm going to put that right there in the direction it's going to screw back on, because we're just going to power these brushes. So that one, I'm going to take this one out right here. So right there. Right here. These came off of this. We're going to put them right here. So from this point here, we're going to skip this one, because it's the one that has like 6 wires going to it. Each one of these only has 2. So these are where our 3 wires are going to come out and go into our controller. We'll do a longer video on on how to solder it together, and we'll put thicker wires at that time. Right now we're just going, let's just make it functional. This one here, don't do it. This one, that one. This one, no. I'm just pushing it away so it's not connected. So you can see here, this one's coming out. We're not doing one here. These are going to be the 3 wires that go in. This will be powered. And like I said before, it doesn't matter if that's going to be negative or positive. We just don't want them to touch. All right, so we're at about 12 volts there. Let's bring that down right at 12. About 4.5. That's good. So when I power this on, if that's hooked up right, that'll stick. If I turn it off, watch, that'll fall off. So that's how you know you've got power to the brushes. So on this controller, and I'll show the wiring diagram for it, we've got blue, green, and yellow. We're going to hook these so that they don't touch. There we go. So we'll spread those out so that they don't come in contact. It may be hard to see. This has 3 pins. So 3 pins. So there's only one on here with 3 with the female and clip in right there. So you can see this is green, black, and red, and then there's white, black, and red over here. So here we have the male port, and then we have the female port with, so now we have 5 pins. This is yellow and black, this is brown and white. This one has the male connections, this one has the female. We'll connect those. And that was for our display. So now we've got the controller and the display hooked up. So I've got a more powerful charger, but if you don't have a power supply that has enough, but you have similar batteries, they have to be the same type of battery. So if you've got Ryobi, use Ryobi. If you've got some other brand, make sure they're all the same brand, all the same type, all the same power. And you'll notice right here, it indicates positive and negative. So we'll have a negative on this side that runs out. Then we're going to go from positive to negative, from positive to negative, and then we'll have a positive. These will be run in a series. What that does is it boosts the volts, but the amps are going to stay the same. It would be good to test, have the means to test out if everything's working right before you put a lot of money into it. There we go. I'm going to turn this around so that I have them on the side of the controller. Right, so I'm going to clip on the positive first. So I'm just going to take these and clip those together. So we have, since we put these in series, these are 18 volt. So that took that to 54 volts. We're going to connect this in. You may see a little spark. No, we didn't. Now to test to see if it's on, I'm going to hold down the controller and hopefully we have enough charge. We do. We're going to turn this on. So now we have powered up our brushes. Woo! And that's about as fast as it's going to go right now. So what I'm doing is I'm adjusting the levels over here. We were on level 2 on that one. Let's go to 3. See what our power's like there. Woo, way better. This is 4. Woo, man. Now let's go to 5. I think 5 is all you can do on this controller, and we'll work on trying to increase power. Woo! All right. So that's how to connect it up. We'll make a better video of how to solder these on. Heavier gauge wire, so probably go to 10 gauge on this. The controller has to be for a sensorless motor. So last thing I want to point out is when you try to power this, if you try to power it with like a 30 volt charger, it will not work. It wouldn't work with 2 batteries. It came close to it. So once I went up to 54 volts, or these 3 18 volt batteries in a series, then I had no problem powering it. This is one of the easiest motors to convert. Way less to do. You don't have to unclip a bunch of different things if you follow those instructions. Another thing to note is once I start to use this, I will make sure there's no way for that to touch anything.